Here, this will be the last one of the group that I'm showing of the Glottiphyllums. I have got more, whether I do them as a group of species later, I don't know. Anyhow, this will be the last one that I'm going to show in this section. And this one, I'm pretty sure, is Glottiphyllum depressum. This depressum name was obviously has been used for several species, one being linguiform, which as a kid I remember this name, reading it in Schwanz's Living Stones book, and they said it was quite a rare one, but recent events have shown that it was possibly just a subgroup of this plant, depressum. Incidentally, linguiform means exactly the same thing. It means like a tongue. But anyhow, this one, as I say, I've got this depressum, a very old plant, and I've just realised it's got bloody visitor, which I'm going to remove. As I say, there's nothing like actually showing you the blooming problem. And there's one straight away. So my advice would be to keep a good eye open. If you go down here in the evening, take a little torch, flashlight, and sort the so-and-sos out. As I say, they're not they're easy to see, and they're damaged as well. This one, fortunately, has only got a few bits where it's been marked. There's a mark down there. Now, what you probably noticed about this is a lovely square pot, terracotta pot. These were pots available years ago. I don't know if you can still get them. They're probably worth a bit now. You have an idea how they grow. And this plant has seen many entries in the Mesem shows at Banstead. I had, just before putting it up, removed some old dead stems. So yeah, I do them occasionally. That's one I've missed. There's one there. See how easy they are. As easy as that to remove. They just look untidy, but the ones that are actually growing, there's another one. As I look at it, I see them. It just shows you that it often pays to tidy a plant up if you do put it in a show. I don't really show now. I did years ago. I was actually a judge. I think my judging thing has probably run out by now. I know it was donkey's years since I went up to the judges course. It's a very interesting course, actually. I remember, this will date it to the time, someone up there, don't know who it was, got a potato, I think it was a potato, and done some modifications to it and added it into one of the classes that we had to judge as a caudiciform. The then Chris Pitcher, who some of you will probably remember and was a very, very keen member on caudiciforms, didn't think it was a good idea. So that little anecdote will be remembered. It might have even been that year when I attended the course and I took my 2 pussycats up, because they had to be looked after, and as it was away for a weekend, I took the 2 cats up, took them in the van, and it obviously upset someone, because my cats never left my room that I was in. They were all right. They had their dirt box, they had their food, they had their water, and they were doing fine. They liked it. It was a holiday. Anyhow, some bright spark, don't know why they done it, sense of humour I suppose, they put on the staircase up to the where we were holding the actual event meeting, and they must have found how can I put it gently? Alright, it's a dog's turd. Someone put a dog's turd on the stairs to try and make out that it was one of my cats. Nasty thing to do, but it happened. I can assure you a dog's turd is slightly different to a cat's turd. Anyhow, it did cause quite a bit of frivolity. But there we are. The pussycats went to the judges' course. Many people will probably remember this. They also remember the fact, whether it was at that same meeting, I don't know. It might have not been. But I know Chris Pitcher was not very pleased with that little joke that someone had done on the Glottiphyllum classes. It may be remembered that the Glottiphyllums were not that popular then, and Chris was he was one of the experts on the Glottiphyllums. I think he also wrote several articles in ASP, African Succulent Plant Society, which I mentioned the other day. Anyhow, I try and put in a little anecdote on my talks. Might bring back memories, might not. But there we are. There's the plant, Glottiphyllum depressum, named by Hayworth, and updated by N.E. Brown. That's Nicholas Edward Brown of Kew. He did both of them did a lot of work on the succulent plants, particularly N.E. Brown. He worked on the mesems. I think he was also involved in the iris family as well. But there we are. I'm trying to think. I know, I'm probably going back a few years, a gentleman called Bates. I'm trying to think of his first name. It was well known by the older members. I never met him. I remember he had a fish tank in his greenhouse, or a pond in his greenhouse. He obviously liked fish and mesems, awarthias. It was J.T. Bates, and he was a friend of Jack Brown. As I say, I met Jack Brown from Uxbridge, and but never met Mr. Bates, who I believe was a tram conductor. And one story goes, he actually met Louise Bolus, who's another expert on the mesems, actually met her when he was as conductor on his tram. I don't know if it was a tram or trolley bus, but he met Louise Bolus. So it's I've got plenty of anecdotes I could tell you. Anyhow, I'm going to stop now and put this one up on now. I also notice no flowers. Whether this is a non-flowering clone, I don't know. There's no flowers, no signs of flowers. It's just one of those things. But as I say, it's a typical of the linguiform shape. It took in other shapes as well, as I said before. There was quite a few species, but now they've reduced to about 14, 15 distinct species, and some are quite nice. Anyhow, that's all I've got to say on this one. So once again, thanks for watching. Thanks for putting up with my little anecdotes. Sorry about talking about what was left at the judge's course on the stairway. It wasn't me, and it wasn't my pussycats. Yeah, thanks again for watching. I hope I've sort of cheered things up a bit. Hope so. Thanks again. Thank you.